Welcome to the Wandering Wardels. What this video is going to be about is we are going to do an actual review of the Carnival Conquest from not only us, but we actually have some passengers that have some things to say about their experience on the Carnival Conquest as well. So stick with me and come wander with the Wardels.
Come wander with the Wardels.
Come wander with the Wardels.
Wandering, wandering, wandering Wardels. Wandering, wandering, wandering Wardels. So dream about your next vacation and I will be your guide. And share with friends and hit the like, then ring the bell, subscribe.
So let's start with some things that we did like about the Carnival Conquest. The first thing that I'd like to mention is the size of the ship. Now we've gone on a few cruises, as you know, and we've actually decided predominantly, when it's just the two of us especially, the smaller ships are where it's at. The main reason why I love that about the Carnival Conquest and others that are around this size is simply because it just doesn't feel as congested anywhere you go. You just aren't fighting for space the way that you are in some of the larger ships. We also met some very fantastic crew members throughout this cruise. Just people that were super genuine with different stories from all walks of life in all different countries, in fact, around the world. And we found that the way that they took care of us, the way that they forget about just taking care of us, just the many conversations we had with the crew members, simply fantastic. So I applaud Carnival Conquest and specifically, and you know who you are, the people that we met. I will give a quick shout out to my wife's favorite person. We do not know her last name, but she actually was a server in the lobby bar and makes the best espresso martinis, but more importantly, just a super genuine, nice person. Every single day my wife would say, I love her. Did I get jealous? Maybe. We are here with Samad, who, as I understand it, is on his first contract with Carnival, and he is from Indonesia, and I'm just gonna ask him a few questions.
So my job, I just like take care of my area and then just prepare like just as I still all the cleaning public areas.
Okay, and this is your first cruise ship, correct?
Yeah, that's
And
correct.
how long have you been on this ship so far?
This how now I still 7 months here. So yeah, for our contract is 8 months.
Your contract's 8 months,
Yeah.
and then what happens after 8 months? Will you return home for a little bit?
Yeah, if I get vacation 3 months in my country. So
Okay.
I get vacation and then next year.
For 3 months?
Yeah, for 3
Okay.
months vacation and then after this one I get a different ship.
Okay.
Next, not the conquest again. So I move different ship for next contract.
Okay, well that's great. Thanks, Samad. I just wanted to add a couple more things. We haven't met Samad yet. He was not our guest attendant. However, I just want to give a shout out to all the guest attendants on Carnival because I can tell you they keep this ship pristine, and we've met several of them, and they're all just about as fantastic as this gentleman beside me. Next, I'll talk about the actual guests that were on board. Specifically, we were on a cruise that had a lot of platinum and diamond members. Now, those are people that have cruised a heck of a lot more than we have. And what I loved about that is, first of all, people love to share their experiences predominantly. And we found them most helpful. They gave us a lot of tips and tricks and just advice, generally speaking, about Carnival cruising generally, and just the various ports and all of the information that people shared with us. They were very experienced travelers, so we definitely love that. I'm here with Mario and Sandra. We are in the Punchliner Comedy Club, and once again we are asking people, what do you think about Carnival? So I got a couple questions specifically to ask them. So first of all, how many cruises have you been on, including any company that you've been on?
I've been on 35.
35 cruises. Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? What are the different cruise lines that you've been on?
So I've been on Holland America the most, and then a Carnival next, and then I've been on Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Costa, and even a Virgin. One Virgin.
Okay.
It's Celebrity.
Okay, and your favorite cruise line, and just be brutally honest, what did you like the most on the cruise lines you've been on?
I would say my favorite is between Holland and Celebrity. They both have excellent service and excellent food, which to me is very important.
I love food as well. Now, on to Carnival. Tell me specifically what you folks love about Carnival and what you dislike about Carnival.
Well, so Carnival has a lot of different options. You can go out of Miami, you can go out of Galveston. For us, that's been really nice to have those options. And then the thing that I do like is the crowd is always very lively, regardless of the venue that you're in. So that's sort of exciting to be able to see. Sometimes things get a little out of hand.
Love the music.
Love the music. Yeah, they have great bands and great venues.
Okay, and last question. What do you love the most and what do you dislike the most about this particular cruise? I know we've only been on it for a couple days, but what do you like about the Carnival Conquest and what do you dislike about the Carnival Conquest?
Well, you can tell it's a little bit of an older ship. So, you know, there are some places where you can tell that there's a little aging on the ship, but it's certainly been upgraded from what it was before. And I think for this particular cruise, the number of stops that we're having at places we've never been, we're doing 8 stops, which is fantastic. Seeing 3 islands we've never seen before, and after 35 cruises, you've seen almost all of the Caribbean. So that's fantastic.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, folks. Have a wonderful cruise. Thank you. The thing that I really liked about the Carnival Conquest is the really open pool area. The main pool area was super open, and they had a lot of separate spaces, including the main pool. They had a back pool, they had hot tubs, they had the adults only hot tub section, and once again, predominantly, it just wasn't super congested. Maybe a little bit more on sea days, but still, it was just great. Heather, what do you love about the Carnival Conquest?
I love the crew and the people and the family atmosphere. Everyone's so friendly. I love it.
Okay, is there anything, and it's totally fine if there's something you don't like about the Carnival Conquest, please be brutally honest, is there anything you don't like?
What is there not to love? I love everything about it. It's beautiful.
The next thing I'll mention that I really like about the Carnival Conquest, and this actually stands true for most Carnival ships generally, is the entertainment options are through the roof. They really do that part right, from my opinion. Not a die-hard as much on the theater type stuff, but more so the amount of live music everywhere. The comedy club is a big favorite of mine, and also we like an up environment when you're lounging by the pool, and Carnival certainly provides that, where they have DJs all day and different things of that nature. And Tom, the first question I have for you is, why Carnival?
Well, the ports are very close to us. This Miami cruise is about the farthest away port we could go on, but we have one in Mobile and have 2 ships out of New Orleans that we travel on quite a bit. Port Canaveral is a little more convenient than Miami, but we just love it. I've been on one other cruise line, the Royal Caribbean, and the food did not match up, and the layout of the ship was not as good as Carnival has. And I really have loved it. I've been on about 25 cruises, 24 of them Carnival, and 1 on Royal Caribbean. So I know probably there's opportunities out there to try another ship, but so far so good. I enjoy Carnival and we'll stick with it.
Okay, and that's awesome. And what about the food? How do you feel the Carnival Conquest food in comparison to other Carnival ships?
Well, I've not been to eat yet. I've been spending all my money in the bars.
And what is your favorite bar, Tom?
The Alchemy Bar is my favorite bar.
And your favorite drink in the Alchemy Bar?
I like so many of them, it's hard to say, but the cucumber martini is pretty good.
Okay, and last question, Tom. What would you say to a new cruiser that is looking for tips to do with any cruise or Carnival specifically?
Well, on my first cruise, I did not realize that they added a gratuity onto the waiters tips. They had 18% on, so we were tipping them extra. But they were all around us. Every time we finish a beer, they'd be right back with another beer, and that was a lot of fun. But it gets expensive.
Cruises. How many cruises have you been on, Michael?
20 or 21.
And what is it about Carnival that does it for you?
Everything. I just love Carnival. I have so much fun. I just meet so many people. Like on this cruise, I've met several people that I've met on other cruises.
And is there anything you don't like about Carnival cruises, or specifically to do with the Carnival Conquest?
No, I really like Carnival. I haven't really found anything that I dislike about them. Every cruise I've been on has been wonderful.
The last thing I really liked, and this is actually very specific, not to Carnival Conquest per se, but this 14-night cruise, the itinerary, was through the roof. You're going to be seeing around me all the different islands that we visited, and you will also probably already seen or will see shortly more specific itineraries of things that we did when we were on the islands. But I'll tell you, the islands that we visited were simply fantastic. And along those lines, because it was a longer cruise and because we did not have any kids, I will mention one more time, on these longer cruises, or at least this one, there weren't that many kids around. So it really felt like almost an adults only environment. We are with
Shannon King and Frank King.
Shannon and Frank, and they're going to just walk us through a few things. I'm going to ask some specific questions about the Carnival Conquest. The first question I have for them actually is, how many cruises you folks been on?
I've been on, this is my 13th.
I've been on 11.
And are they all Carnival?
Yes, all Carnival.
And what do you think of Carnival as a company, first of all?
We enjoy
We enjoy very much.
Carnival. We enjoy the people we meet. We enjoy the destinations. We like Carnival.
What do you like about the Carnival Conquest?
I like the size of the ship.
Yes.
I like the intimacy of the ship. I like it's a smaller group of people, and I like the size.
Okay, and again, this was a 14-night cruise. I do realize that a lot of passengers have mentioned a few things that they did not like so much about the Carnival Conquest. So my next question would be, for you folks, what is it that you do not like about the Carnival Conquest?
I think a couple of things on the ship is there is no pass-through through the galley, so it does make it difficult to be able to get from one end of the ship to the other. I do think that being the Conquest is an older ship, there are some repairs that need to happen. And because it's more of a training ship, I think we've had some little glitches in regards to the timing in the kitchen and staff and that type of thing. But it's been a great cruise.
Okay, last question for these folks is, what out of all the many fabulous cruise ports that we visited, what would you say is your favorite cruise port we visited, and why?
I think our favorite is Grenada.
I like Barbados too.
Barbados and Grenada. Those are the first time we've ever been to those two, and we just really enjoyed the island, the people, the culture there. It was just really
Good time.
Good time.
And specifically now, let's say Grenada. What is it about Grenada that you like most? And what did you do in Grenada that gave you that feeling that you described?
Well, we did a bus tour. We got a ton of the local spices and met people and had a really good time.
Yeah, we did the gorge, so we were able to swim in the gorge and go to the waterfalls, and we did the hot springs. So it was just a lot of different stuff. It was a good time.
So now on to the negatives, and from my perspective, there weren't too many on the Carnival Conquest, honestly. Pretty much problems that I probably shouldn't even complain about. However, they did happen. So the first thing I'll mention is service was incredibly slow on this ship. And as I understand it, or what was explained to me, this is kind of twofold. One thing about it was the fact that there was so many Platinum Diamond members, and there were so many people trying to do anytime dining. And as a result of that, when you were looking for your table for supper, it actually took an incredibly long time, oftentimes up to an hour, to get seated for your main dining room for dinner. And along those lines, I want to stress that the servers worked incredibly hard. So this is not a knock or a judgment or anything like that about the servers themselves, but they were running off their feet because of the congested dining room. I think everyone was trying to eat at the same time. And as such, service was intermittent. Sometimes it took you a long time to get service. Sometimes it took you a long time between courses and that sort of thing. And that was a common theme throughout the ship. A lot of people, I think, felt the same way as I did on that. However, with that being said, it did get corrected sporadically as we kept moving on forward throughout the cruise. And they definitely fixed some of those bugs along the way, so that was great. Other than that, I really don't have too many complaints. You see the positive, and that's kind of where it was at. That was really the only thing that I could actually judge at all, was just that fact, because we weren't used to that from Carnival. Once we did get the food, however, and we did meet our servers, I want to stress again, they were fantastic to deal with, super friendly, accommodating, just like everybody else we met on the ship. And the food standards were what we're used to for Carnival, so zero complaints there. If anything, I would say the food options were actually a little bit greater on the ship, despite it being a smaller ship, simply because it was a journeys cruise. So it was a longer cruise, which I didn't know this before. As a result of that, they do give more food options because they want to keep the variety up. So we had a lot of different options to eat, and you saw that in our previous video. How many Carnival ships have you been on?
Only one, which is the Carnival Conquest.
Conquest. And have you been on any other cruises?
Yes, Royal Caribbean.
So have you been on only 2 cruises?
Yes.
Okay. And what would you like more? The Carnival Conquest or Royal Caribbean?
The Carnival Conquest for sure.
Carnival Conquest. And why?
Because they give you a lot of information about the activities. They give you a little newspaper like every night to know the next day what the activities are. And it's very easy. The application is phenomenon on their hub, and you can't go wrong with that when you're a first-time cruiser.
And the service is excellent.
What was your favorite port that we went to?
The favorite port, I wouldn't say there's a favorite port. I love all of them. All of the port that we went through in the 2 weeks vacation, the cruising to the port was
From beginning to the last.
So there you have it. Just another review with real people on the Carnival Conquest.